On November 5th, 2021, a tragedy occurred at Travis Scott's Astroworld Music Festival in Houston, Texas. When Travis's performance was preparing to begin on the first night of the festival, a surge of people created a stampede that left 8 dead and several more injured. While the stampede itself was initially thought to be the main cause of the various deaths and injuries, it now appears as if someone in the crowd was injecting people with a syringe. Travis Scott has come under immense fire from the public in the wake of the 8 deaths, though his legal culpability remains to be determined. In the meantime, the public is left to piece together what happened via the testimonials of those who were there, including the authorities. Join Trender as first responders reveal what actually happened at Astroworld. As is typical with an event of its size, there were numerous policemen and firefighters set up outside of the 2021 Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas. Sadly, when a disaster broke out, there wasn't much they could do. Similar to the notorious Fire Festival from 2017, the 2021 Astroworld Festival seems to have been poorly planned. When Travis Scott was set to perform his set on the festival's first night, there were no other musical artists performing on any other stages during the time slot. This was planned on purpose, so Travis's crowd could appear as big as possible for the cameras. In addition to the fact that Travis was the only musical performer at the time, an area where the crowd was gathering was boxed in on 3 sides. This meant there was only one side for those who entered to get out. When the crowd surged in to see Travis perform, the stampede created a vacuum that swept many people underneath, creating a sea of dead bodies underneath the festival audience. 8 people were killed and several more were severely injured. Many received injuries that will likely stay with them for life. There was apparently a lack of communication between local Houston authorities and the planners of the event. When authorities asked for radio means to communicate with the festival's third-party security and medical teams, they were provided with phone numbers. Due to the area's sketchy service, these phone numbers proved to be essentially useless. It appears that those running the festival didn't have a firm grasp of what they were doing, leaving the authorities to fend for themselves in the event of inevitable disaster. This came in spite of the fact that this was musical artist Travis Scott's 3rd time putting on the Astroworld Festival since its inception in 2018. Live Nation is the entertainment company that's been helping Travis Scott put on Astroworld. Both Travis and the company have a history of allowing things to get out of hand at public events. Travis has been charged with disorderly conduct in the past for inciting riots at concerts, and there had even been a history of riot behavior at the Astroworld Festival during its 2018 and 2019 iterations. The festival skipped a year during 2020 due to COVID. It took its name from Travis's 2018 album, Astroworld. Among the many victims of the 2021 Astroworld Festival is a 9-year-old boy who was rushed to the hospital and is currently in a medically induced coma. He's just one of several survivors who remain in critical condition. Authorities are still trying to figure out exactly what caused the death of 8 individuals who passed away. There were certainly issues with crowd control, but there were also reports there was someone amongst the crowd sticking people with a syringe. One security guard reports he was poked with a syringe and subsequently began overdosing from an unknown substance and had to be resuscitated by medical personnel. Many of the victims appear to have gone into cardiac arrest, and some were reported to have been foaming at the mouth. If this is the case, many are speculating these symptoms seem more in line with a drug overdose than with a stampede death. While the presence of an unknown assailant perched in the crowd poking people with a syringe certainly complicates things, it's undeniable that there were people being trampled as a result of the festival's poor planning. It seems numerous things came together to create this tragic incident, and it has yet to be determined exactly what the main catalyst of the many deaths and injuries was. Some have speculated the assailant with the syringe caused panic in the crowd. According to them, it was this panic that caused the stampede, not Travis and his performance. This may take some culpability off of Travis and his poor planning, but there's also the matter of how he acted once ambulances and medical personnel began attempting to swarm the crowd. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Trender for more. In the wake of the disaster at the 2021 Astroworld Festival, many have called into question musical artist Travis Scott's behavior when he noticed ambulances in the distance while he was performing on stage. As the stampede broke out and many were being trampled to death, there were screams coming from the audience that were drowned out by Travis's performance. A man and a woman reportedly climbed up a ladder and began begging a cameraman who was filming the event for help, screaming that there were people dying in the crowd below. Sadly, the cameraman had little idea of what to do and had no means to stop the event. It remains uncertain just how aware Travis Scott was of what was going on. However, the artist has shown little regard for the safety of the crowd at his performances in the past. Given the nature of Travis's shows and musical performances in general, it's not entirely uncommon for there to be people passing out for various reasons, whether drug intoxication, dehydration, or simply from being overwhelmed. When Travis saw ambulance lights in the crowd, he claims to have assumed they were responding to an issue that wasn't serious enough for him to stop performing. Travis could also be seen communicating with security near the stage to go help people nearby him in the crowd who seemed to be in distress. However, other footage shows him apparently ignoring what seems to be an unconscious body being brought out of the crowd directly in front of him. Many have expressed a belief that the 2021 Astroworld Festival disaster could have been averted if Travis had stopped performing as soon as he saw the ambulance lights shining in the distance of the crowd. However, others defend Travis's actions as being an unfortunate byproduct of music festival culture. They say Travis had little reason to believe there was any need for him to stop the show, given that the sight of an ambulance at such a performance was normal. Authorities are actively investigating what truly caused the incident. In the meantime, both Travis Scott and Live Nation have been named in a number of lawsuits. Travis's fellow musical performer Drake is even named in a lawsuit. Drake was a surprise musical guest the night of the incident, and the lawsuit naming him alleges he played a part in things getting out of control. For the most part, people are putting the blame on Travis Scott and Live Nation, although there's still the matter of the mysterious culprit with the syringe. Travis's wife, Kendall Jenner, was watching her husband's musical performance with their daughter and some friends via a luxurious vantage point. The social media influencer shared a story on Instagram that showed footage of an ambulance being brought into the crowd below, and the story was later removed amidst the ensuing controversy. What exactly Kendall was trying to communicate by sharing this footage remains unknown, and it's uncertain whether or not she understood what was going on. Both she and Travis have issued incredibly apologetic statements in the days since the disaster. The incident occurred on the first day of what was supposed to be a 2-day festival, and the second day was subsequently canceled as a result of the disaster. It's proven to be one of the most serious incidents of its kind in decades. One of the last incidents like this was in the 70s, when 11 people were trampled to death at a concert put on by the band The Who. While injuries and deaths from overcrowding at events used to be more common, modern advances in architecture and event planning have made it so these types of things are rarely an issue. That is, so long as the event in question is being put on by professionals. The Astroworld Festival incident is likely going to have a lasting impact on the music industry, but it has yet to be determined just how serious of an impact the disaster will have on Travis Scott's career. The experimental hip-hop artist rose up over the course of the 2010s to become one of the biggest names in music. He was even given his very own McDonald's value meal in 2020. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think Travis Scott and Live Nation are culpable for what happened at Astroworld? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Trender if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.